Hello everyone, Nigat here, and welcome to another match of LittleWarGame. Today I am bringing you a game that is being played between Mr. ItzJ with the blue pieces in the bottom right corner of Acadia versus Joshers09 playing with the red pieces on the top left corner. This match came from a very recently played Pro League. It was hosted by Mr. Bisherm, Pro League number 7. If you're unfamiliar with what a Pro League is, it's essentially 4 teams made up of 4 members. And these different team members will play other team members from different teams. If I remember correctly, ItzJ was on Weird Rat's team. And then Mr. Joshers was on my team for Team Nigat. So it's going to be a pretty interesting match. This game is the first game they played in a best of 3 series. If you guys really like this match, I might record the remainder of the series, but I think I'm just going to leave it up to you guys to see if you want to see the remainder of this series or potentially some other players play. ItzJ is starting with a 1 den. I'm going to be very curious to see if he decides to get a second house or if he decides to go for a different kind of build. Okay, so he does decide to go for a second house. So ItzJ is playing the DC build. It's named DC build because a player in LittleWarGame called the Destroy Call built or discovered this build order where you get 1 den and you build 2 houses, and it lets you build consistent wolves on 1 den till about 5 wolves, and then you're able to very safely take and expand. Joshers here is going for the raider opening, so he's building 1 raider. He's already sent a worker down, so I'm curious if he's going to try to do a 1 raider expand build on this map. At the same time, he is trying to get some damage here, so we did see that Joshers did try to blink so that he could put some damage onto this wolf. Wolf did take a little bit of damage. If we look at ItzJ's vision, we can see that he's got these wolves kind of roaming around the map. They're making their way over to Josh's base here, but they did go the long way around to get this scouting information. Just made sure that he's not getting proxied from that specific location. Very interesting call from Joshers to go 1 raider and then expand here. If we look at Joshers' vision, we see that he's only got, basically his natural in terms of vision, but building just this 1 raider did allow him to start this castle faster, which is going to let him pull these workers, and he is going to be able to defend his expand with workers just a little bit quicker. I actually think this is fine. I don't think you need to pull workers anymore here. You can just defend this with the raiders. 2 raiders should be more than enough to defend 2 wolves. I want to look over on ItzJ's side of the map. We do see that he is yet to finish his castle. So in terms of the economy, he is going to be a little bit behind because he doesn't have this castle built. He's also not building any workers anymore, which I do think is a mistake. He should be producing workers during all this so that he can continue his worker advantage. Same time, we do see both these players microing in the middle of the map. Josher with his 3rd raider coming to reinforce. Both these raiders just doing some pick-off micro. 1 raider blinks back so that it can snipe this wolf. 1 red wolf also goes down. So it's now 3 raiders versus 3 wolves. This is very much in favor of the raider player. Joshers being rewarded for going for a slightly greedier opening, I would say, but he is paying off by killing 3 wolves, which was a pretty big deal at this stage of the game. Taking a look at the compositions, Josher with 14 workers versus ItzJ's 16. Both players looks like they want to take a very fast 3rd base. This is really risky from both players, actually. ItzJ should not be taking a 3rd base because he's already having a hard time defending against these 3 raiders. Even though he is on 2 den, he does need to just make sure his production is a little bit more consistent. If we take a look at the APM, we can see that it is nearing 100 for both players. So they are, they're definitely busy. They could be doing a little bit more in terms of the macro things that they could be doing. Joshers, I feel like Joshers is the safest player here taking his expand because of the fact that he was able to get his raiders to the other side of the map. He was able to see what ItzJ's wolf count looked like. So nothing to fear from Mr. Joshers. As we continue on, just a little bit more pressure, a little bit more movement. I want to take a look at the follow-up. So Joshers is getting a second Rax rather. ItzJ is going for a Forge. Okay, so he went for a Beast opening, and he decided that he wanted to go for a Forge. I can't tell if this is a mistake or if he's trying to set something up. However, I do feel like this is a very, very big mistake. He's also got very, very few workers on his natural. He does send over some workers from his main over to his natural to kind of correct that mistake. If we take a look at the worker count, ItzJ is still leading in workers, but he is like, this castle was kind of idling for a long time, so I just don't want to see him fall behind. ItzJ also does get the scouting, so we will see that Josher did take an expand. Now, does ItzJ have enough units to try to punish Joshers or try to harass Joshers for expanding? As long as Joshers is able to move these soldiers into position, I don't think he will. These raiders in combination with soldiers are very strong at defending against mono wolves. And as long as you just keep producing on your racks here, you should be fine. And he's going up to 5 racks now, which is a very healthy racks count, especially for 3 base. It's actually very dangerous for ItzJ. If he doesn't get more dens and constant den production, he will end up suffering from this. Does look like this was intentional actually. Let's take a look at this this follow-up from ItzJ really quick. So he is going for a workshop. He did go +1 attack upgrades for mech, and he is also getting two workshops. So he's going to start transitioning into mech, some sort of combination of mech and beast, probably soldiers defending the main, raiders doing a little bit of harassment on the top right corner of the map. So both players doing really well. One thing we don't see from both of these players, which I would consider to be a mistake at this level, is when you get your 3rd base, especially if you're the Rax player, you do want to start building your bird, building 1 bird, and sending it across the map so that you can get some scouting information. That way you're going to be prepared for any potential tech transitions you see. Looks like Joshers is going for a different approach. He's basically saying that he's going to force his opponent to respond to him by going for this massive push, that he doesn't really mind the fact that he hasn't scouted, and looks like he's going for a big like 3 base. How many racks does he have? Yeah, just still 5 racks, but it is going to be a very strong 3 base push. Soldiers again very strong against these wolves. He just wanted to make sure that he's safe, and he does scout the fact that it is 3 base, so this should allow Joshers to get an ideal position. I actually just want him to move in and occupy like this space right here. Like if you come in, like instead of dilly-dallying over here and worrying about getting flanked, if you just come in and sit on this space here, you can get a lot of damage in. In fact, he does move in with the soldiers. These soldiers are going to get a lot of damage done wolves do come in. They are going to start putting some damage. They are going to start trying to defend this area. Tower does go up. The good thing is that these soldiers are on hold command, so they're just going to continue to get damage in no matter what. Workers also on hold command, and we do see that Joshers is completely committed to this push to see if it will do the damage. Archers in the back, kind of exposed. They are going to get flanked by these wolves, and they will get picked off very quickly. Soldiers doing as much as they can to deal these DPS, a tank for the rest of these units. Do you see that a good amount of workers do go down? In fact, I would be, yeah, so another worker goes down there. But in the very end, we do see that ItzJ is able to defend this push. Let's take a look at the workers he lost. So he did lose 8 workers. If we take a look at the gold loss, ItzJ did lose actually considerably less, and he has mined more. So in terms of his economy, he is doing much better than Joshers is. In fact, he is also getting a 4th base. Would definitely like to see him maneuver some of these workers over to his 3rd base to kind of reallocate and just have a little bit better mining. And then he does go for this double mill follow-up, so this is going to be a very lethal follow-up for ItzJ to do against Joshers, especially if Joshers is not ready to defend against it. He's going to need more archers, or he's going to need a mill, just so he can be able to defend this better. But as you can see, Joshers is definitely on the back foot. ItzJ is pushing in pretty hard with this Wolf-Gat combo. These Gats being really good at dealing damage, especially to soldiers. We do see that Joshers does pull the workers in to try to do some damage here to the entire army of Joshers here. Workers doing a really good job of damaging those wolves. Now we see that that buffer is gone, or at least is mostly gone. And now it's just mostly those Gats. The problem with the Gats is the fact that they are very fast, they are very good at kiting, and they are specifically very good at kiting soldiers. So especially when you upgrade their speed, in fact, if I can pull it up, if I remember the button, yes. There's this upgrade called the Gat speed upgrade, which makes Gats just slightly faster, but it is a really big deal. Because their movement is very, very strong, especially at kiting these soldiers. So when we look at the game and we look at the workers, we do see that the workers are relatively even. It is going to lead to a relatively even mining for both players, but ItzJ's bases are a little bit more spread out, which means he's going to get a little bit more efficiency in terms of his gold mine. I do see that he is starting to send some of his workers over to this 4th base location, and he's going to start to get some excellent mining. He also scouts the fact that Joshers is only on 3 base, so he is starting to tower up just so he can get some defense. And then at the same time, Joshers does... Oh no, ItzJ comes in with this Gat pressure that I was kind of mentioning earlier when he was building these mills, and now he is going to put in a lot of harassment. So just from his army composition, you can see that he has a lot of harassment from just how mobile his army is. These Gats being extremely mobile, these wolves being extremely mobile, and then finally these gyros also being extremely mobile. So now it's on Joshers to kind of solidify his position, make sure that he can't take any more free damage. He doesn't want to. And then get another base. He really needs to get another base so that he can catch up to ItzJ. Right now it's going to be really hard because ItzJ has about 10 more workers than he does. They're both trading at the same time, and we do see the fact that ItzJ has these catapults out. Archers are going to be a big problem for these Gatling guns, actually, because the archers do outrange the Gatling guns. Soldiers doing a good job of causing the catapults to derp out, but if ItzJ can have these catapults like target these group of archers, then those archers could be in a lot of trouble. A little bit of missed micro from Joshers. This clump of archers were not participating in that battle just a second ago. Do see some pretty good micro from both players, just going back and forth, trying to do as much harassment as they possibly can. Again, I would love to see Joshers take another base, but it looks like he is going for a strictly 3-base economy play. This game looks like he is not looking to take another base until now, until about 13 minutes into the game. It's a little bit late, but you know, better late than never. ItzJ did a really good job of leaving these wolves in these locations so that he could scout for when his opponent started to try to take an expansion. Joshers does pull the worker back so that he doesn't lose it, sends an archer to try to deal with this wolf. It won't trade very favorably, but he does send in the rest of or at least a group of armies so that he can try to finish this castle. Same time, ItzJ is taking the map. He's taking the map with his gyros. He's also taking the map with this catapult wolf Gat combo that he has going on. Both armies are going to see each other like ships in the night a little bit. Catapults do have the ability to shoot further than they can see. So it will be a little bit interesting to see how these archers try to play into these Gats. Do you see that? Oh, this is definitely a killer blow. ItzJ was able to bring in these catapults, or these gyros rather, and deal a lot of damage to the 3rd base. It did kill a lot of Joshers workers. Now we do see he's just looking for more worker damage. ItzJ is out of position, but it's really hard to be in position with this kind of army, especially with how mobile, again, these gyros can be. They're so good against these soldiers, especially when they have +4 attack from all the upgrades that ItzJ's been going for at this point. Do you see that Joshers is going for this advanced workshop? He's had that for a couple moments now. He is trying to move in his army so that he can deal with these gyros, but again, they're just so maneuverable, and that is going to force Joshers to say GG. And GG indeed. ItzJ played a very good game. Very interesting style from him to see with this beast opening followed up by mech play, especially when he was so vulnerable. He held that attack, and then he was able to transition into mech afterwards. So very well played by him. And if you guys enjoyed this video, definitely let me know down in the comments. And if you want to see the next game in this best of 3 series, just maybe leave a like, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.